All right. All right. I was just announcing to everybody that we're going live, getting everything set up here. Just give me 1 second. And then we will go ahead and get to it. Hope everybody's doing well tonight, by the way. All right. Here is the post. Hopefully we can get some more people in here. Some people end up tending to come and go, but I also do these on Friday nights, so they're not like super popular because the weekend and stuff. So we'll kind of just roll with it. But anyway, I am here. Feel free to use the chat to be asking questions and that sort of thing. Let me actually move this window. All right, there we go. That should be good. All right, and if anybody is watching right now, let me know in the chat if the audio is good. Let me go ahead and take this. Here we go. Just audio, video check. Make sure everything is good and there's no delay between the audio and me actually talking on the screen. Everything should be fine though. Set up here. Make sure that you guys grab your beers, whatever, whiskeys, whatever you guys are drinking. No whiskey for me tonight, or at least not yet. All right, so there's a lot of news that I want to go over before I even get into anything else. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of fun. So I want to knock out the majority of that stuff, kind of go over fundamentals, not just with what's happening with the crypto markets, but also just in the larger, broader scheme of things. Okay. In terms of, like the situation of our natural, like national economics and stuff like that. So I'm going to go over all of that stuff real quickly. Yes, I know Bitcoin is pumping right now. We'll go ahead and talk about that also here in just a minute. But to start off, so silver, I actually had a list of notes here. Let me just pull them up real quick. There's a slew of things going on. I've got some bullet points here, and I'm just going to briefly go over those quickly if I can find them here. Where are they? Okay. So the first thing I want to touch on is the fact that manufacturing is thin in our nation, and companies are gouging prices. So there's not really too much else to explain with that. Can't hear me. Wait, for real? Should definitely be able to hear me. So wait, do you guys really not have any audio? Okay, so YOLO can hear me. Okay, so I just wanted to verify it wasn't a me problem. That's good. Bacon Brigade, what's up? YOLO Crypto, how's it going? Ancient Alien, good to see you. Tony is in here as well. We'll probably end up getting more people joining. If you guys can, I really appreciate it. Make sure that you guys smash the like and subscribe button. Go ahead and share the tweet to just, for exposure or whatever, do all the social things. I really appreciate that. I didn't really do a formal intro. I guess we could just kind of move past that at this point. Because there's a lot to go over. There's a lot that's really going on here. Again, like I said, I want to kind of touch on a few of these things, contributing factors, not just so much in the crypto space, but also the legacy space as well. So I'm going to go over a couple things real quick. The first thing is, in our country, manufacturing is very thin and companies are gouging prices. There's not really too much else to go into with that. They're just kind of taking advantage of the inflation situation, the fact that wages aren't keeping up and kind of taking advantage for that and just kind of squeezing consumers. But on top of that, the retail prices are high because all of the costs associated with companies producing their products has gone up, and they're passing on those prices to us. So that's one part gouging, two parts just, inflation things, right? Like production costs from these companies. Okay, so that's the next big thing. The next one is that the banks are overextended and way over leveraged. So again, I'm not going to dive into too much detail about exactly what that means, but those of you that are maybe a little older or lived through the whole 2000 dot-com bubble burst or the 2008 housing market crisis, you guys kind of understand what that means in terms of venture capitalists, hedge funds, banks, they are in the business of lending money out so that they can make money off of the money that they're lending out through interest and repayments and stuff like that. And unfortunately, a lot of the banks for the last 20 years have gotten into a position where they're extremely highly over leveraged. And obviously with the Fed raising rates and doing the things that they're doing, it's putting more pressure on those banks. And the results of that is what we're seeing now. So I'll move on to the next one real quick, which is the housing market can expand because costs to build are high. And when they can build, no one can afford it because wages aren't keeping up. So this is a really big one that most people aren't talking about in the housing market specifically. And I know I'm probably going to get a lot of comments on this video. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Everybody bought it 2.5% interest rates. They're never going to sell their houses. That's actually part of the problem. Okay. The reason why is because if the cost to build the houses, because materials have increased and production costs have increased so much, and no one that currently has a house is going to be selling their house because they got a sweet interest rate, that actually creates a housing shortage. And the reason why it's tough for most people to be buying houses now is because they're priced very high. Okay, so if the costs are very high because the cost to build them are very high, it makes housing less affordable, and you've got less housing flipping over because people that are actually living in those houses that they purchased are not willing to sell them because they have such a phenomenal interest rate. Okay, so that's kind of the dynamic of what's going on there with the real estate side of things. Again, I'm not going to delve too deep into these things. I want to look at the charts. I want to explain more crypto specific things that are going on. So just a couple more bullet points here. The second to last one is lowest unemployment in history. And we still have, not in history, but in the last 40 or 50 years, since I think 1968, it's the lowest unemployment rate that we've ever seen. But yet we still have 2 open jobs for every 1 unemployed person. So while the Biden administration has been expanding and adding jobs and stuff, there actually isn't people to fill those positions. That's bad. That means that we've got like demand is just like absolutely through the roof, and we don't obviously have enough supply to keep up to it. That directly relates to unemployment and like, the labor market. When you have a big imbalance like that, like too many jobs and not enough people, that means that like demand is super, super high. There are demand for the products. People are willing to buy them. People have the money to buy them. There just simply isn't enough people to fill the positions to meet the demand of production. That's a major imbalance. That's primarily the Fed's, job is to like keep that balance. That's what they're working on. And the last one that I have is the national debt in the United States, just the US here I'm talking about. The national debt will surpass our GDP within the next 5 to 10 years. That's probably, in my opinion, the biggest contributing factor to what's going down right now is the fact that our level of debt in this country is just, it's completely unsustainable. I don't agree with Jerome Powell on that statement. If you guys saw the whole testimony before Congress, I don't agree with him when he says that our level of debt is sustainable, because it's clearly not. If they keep raising the debt ceiling, eventually it's going to get so high that the interest alone on that debt is going to be so high that the level of repayment on that debt is going to be more than what our nation's GDP is. That means, by definition, that the United States defaults. So for him to say that it's kind of like, oh, it's sustainable, I don't buy that at all. We're talking, we hit a $31 trillion cap. They want to raise it to like 40. I mean, we'll hit 40 within the next probably 5 years, 6 years. And then that probably will end up in 5-6 years or whatever that will surpass, our GDP per capita. So also not a good thing. So kind of moving on for that, let's kind of get into the fundamental stuff of what's going on with Bitcoin. Obviously the big thing was the Silicon Valley Bank, everything that's tied in with Silvergate and just how many other crypto firms and exchanges and stuff like that. And, big name corporations, like Circle and stuff that have tons and tons of assets. It was just recently disclosed, I think a couple minutes ago, actually, that Circle had something like $9.8 billion in undisclosed holdings that were at one of these banking institutions that just went under. That's extremely bad. This whole contagion started with FTX, and now we're starting to see the contagion. Everybody thought that, it was going to happen really quickly. It was just FTX and just that one or two banks, and that was it. That's not really how things are going. The dominoes are falling in such a way that FTX went under. That started affecting Digital Coin Group. That started affecting Circle. That started affecting Silvergate Bank. Now Silvergate went under. Now, that trickled over and started affecting Silicon Valley Bank, SVB. And now they went under. That's starting to trickle over into First International Bank. And now their stock and their bank is down something like 25% or whatever it is today. And what's happening, what happened in the crypto industry with tens of billions of dollars trickled over into these banks. And these banks are also highly associated with and interconnected to the rest of the banking system. So you've got kind of this contagion and the dominoes are just kind of falling one by one here. Do I think that we're in for an entire economic collapse here in the United States? No, or at least not yet. But it's not looking good. Even big institutions, such as Charles Schwab and Fidelity, were down something like 10 or 12% on the day. That's not good. That's cause to worry. I myself informed my family today, like, hey, if you have money in X, Y, and Z banks, and I gave them a list of the most highly affected and said, hey, Dad, you got to move your money, get it into a credit union, something that isn't in, some kind of institution where their business isn't loaning money out and taking risky business bets and leveraging, real estate and stuff like that. Like that's what traditional banks do. Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Barclays, USMC, all of those big banks, Deutsche Bank and stuff. That's what those institutions are in the business of. They're in the lending business. Credit unions are not in the lending business. And if they are, it's very minuscule compared to what some of these other really big banking institutions do. So that's one thing that I think is very important to understand about the situation. Can it get worse? I mean, yeah, the whole meme on crypto Twitter is, oh man, how much worse can it get, right? Unfortunately, I do think that the vibe is going to continue to deteriorate. I do think that it's going to get worse because right now there's a lot of fear in the markets. And I think it's too early right now to be buying into that fear. I mean, just until a couple days ago, Jim Cramer and all of the mainstream media is still yelling, "Oh yeah, buy these banks. These institutions are looking strong." Literally in 3 days, like clockwork, boom! Like they all start falling down like dominoes. The reason why I'm saying I think it's too early to be buying any of the fear or the blood is because there hasn't been enough fear and blood yet. I don't think that this is over. I think that this is going to be going on into quarter two, and I don't, it's the end of quarter one almost in another couple weeks. I really do think that this is probably going to be going into May or June, mid or end of quarter two. Is there reason to panic? Maybe not so much, but, in terms of legacy markets, if you guys bank with some of these guys, maybe start thinking about moving your money somewhere else. And that kind of leads me more into some of the higher risk things that are going on with crypto, which right now the big headliner is USDC. Okay, so that's primarily owned and operated by Circle. Circle just announced it had almost $10 billion in undisclosed holdings at Silvergate Bank. When that news came out and just a little bit before, basically USDC is starting to depeg. And if I switch over to the charts here, I'll go ahead and show that to you. This does not look good. This is the lowest on the daily chart. I know that there's a ton of wicks here. Let me get this off the screen. I know that there's a ton of wicks here. And my thing is, there I am. I was wondering why I wasn't on the screen. Let me take a sip of my beer. The biggest thing here for me is this line. This green line is where we closed our daily candle today. Okay, 0.975. Now, if you go back and you look at all of these wicks through here, right? I'll just scroll it back for you. I don't see a single close at this level ever in USDC's history. So this is typically not good. It's typically not the kind of thing you see. And if you do see some kind of massive volatility like that, it's the kind of thing where you want to see it recover very, very quickly. And you want to see it recover the peg very, very quickly. And we're scrolling through here. We're back at, basically the beginning of 2022. Okay, now we're into 2021. This is the beginning. Okay, there's no closes at that level. So it's a little freaky to me. I wouldn't be like panicking yet or whatever, but it's definitely something to note that this is how the depeg with UST started. Like a lot of you were probably there for that. And this is how UST started to look, and it started to make real significant lower lows when it started depegging. Okay. So just be wary of that. If you hold a lot of USDC, maybe think about putting it in something else. Obviously there's a premium with UST right now. So maybe just, think about that. A lot of people, I think a lot of people, what's going on is they're converting it into Bitcoin because Bitcoin's been pumping, and we'll get into that chart in a minute. But, I want to keep the stream, relatively short. See, look what just happened. Look, this just nuked right now. You see what just happened here? It was way up here in the green, and look what just happened. That just happened live on stream. That's actually really cool that I caught that. Okay, so now this is worse. right? As this news starts to spread, the pressure on USDC to keep the peg is going to become greater and greater. If you have USDC, I'm giving you fair warning, you might want to think about converting it into something else. It's like the same thing where if you, hold a lot of your money on KuCoin, or if you hold a lot of your money on Huobi, like those two exchanges right now are in the limelight. They're getting sued. There's tons of litigation. There might be a run on the bank to test their solvency. Those might not be exchanges that you want to be holding funds on right now. Even Binance to me is a little sketchy. I think the ones that are safer are, like Bybit, Femex, BingX, BitGet, Durbit. You know what I mean? Like places like that. Those are probably going to be the ones that are a little more safer right now. So, just make sure that you're doing your due diligence. FTX going down, it really hurt a lot of people. Those of you that are still here, maybe some of you got hurt by that, or maybe you did, but it wasn't nearly as bad as some people. I would just, make a point of saying it's better to be safe than sorry. Like, we know that things in this space are not too big to fail. So when there's a situation like this happening right in front of your eyes, just try and be proactive so that, you're taking as little risks as possible, and you don't turn around, a month from now and say, damn, he was right. I really should have moved my funds off. Or, oh man, I can't believe I should have seen it coming with that stablecoin depegging. We already saw it once. I don't know why I didn't. Don't be that guy that it's like, oh, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Like, don't be that guy. YOLO Crypto says DAI. Binance also depegged versus USDT anyways. Yeah. So, the reason for that is because a lot of people are converting into USDT right now. And that's the main reason for that. So, you're seeing USDT like Tether. You're seeing that at a premium right now because a lot of people are exiting out of BUSD because of litigation and trouble with the US. A lot of people are getting out of USDC because of what's happening, with Silvergate and Circle and, the other bank, Silicon Valley Bank or whatever, and all of this stuff. A lot of people are moving out of that. So it's putting USDT and Tether at a premium. So that's kind of to be expected there. DAI and BUSD depegged way worse. I would have to look at that. If you're talking about right now, then maybe BUSD to, I guess we'll look at it with Tether. Yeah, why not? Yeah, so that's depegged in a well, it's done that before. But again, I don't think that it will have. Oh, so okay, so it's closed that low before. So this is one time back in 2020, but that's it. It was just the 2020 crash where it slightly depegged and immediately regained it. So this might also be the kind of thing that maybe you want to watch. Same thing with DAI, right? Like DAI USD. Here's crypto. USDT to DAI. Sure, why not? Okay, so this DAI is actually at a premium. So this is one of the ones that I guess people would be converting into. I'm not really too familiar with DAI. So again, this is coming in at a premium here. But again, like, just be very careful. Like any of these places, like Circle or whatever, like Binance USD or whatever, like I find it very difficult to believe that every BUSD is 80% of DAI's reserves are USDC. Okay, so I didn't know that. And if I didn't know that, I'm assuming that a pretty large amount of people also don't know that. Or maybe I'm just ignorant. This is showing me that people probably don't know that. Which isn't good. So yeah, DAI is probably not something that you'd want to be going into. BUSD is probably also something that maybe you don't want to be getting into. I would be, if I was going for stables, I'd probably be looking at trying to go into Tether, or just be staying in Bitcoin, or, some kind of altcoin that, is trusted and it's pretty stable or whatever. And you're okay with staying in it, whether you take a small drawdown or whatever for like the next week or two. Let's see, what else did I have for you guys? Oh, well, let's just get into the Bitcoin chart right here. We'll just get into the Bitcoin chart. Well, actually, first I want to take a look at the S&P 500. So, this has just been taking a beating. It hit this historical level of supply perfectly, and we rejected off of that really nicely, slowly at first, and then really quickly here towards the end, with all of this banking FUD and stuff that's going on here. So right now, this is obviously the markets are closed for the weekend. Or at least just the indices. I think futures might still be going. Or is it closed? All the markets are closed. Okay. So this is sitting at a level of support right now. This is a pretty critical level of support. Obviously, if this breaks, and I think I posted this earlier today, if this breaks, then, we're going to be looking for down here. I personally would be looking for a lower low compared to here, a complete structure break, especially not being, testing this massive trend line once, making a lower high and then breaking back down again through it. That's not a good sign. So if this level doesn't hold here, and this isn't kind of, just a simple throw under, and we make a move like this to be breaking these highs again to retest these targets, then that would probably not be good. And I would be expecting these levels between, like 37.20 and, 37.60 or so. Because that's the next real major level of support that you got there. And as I go through these charts, guys, like, feel free, comment, ask questions, put in chart requests and stuff. I'll get to all of your stuff. I'm pretty laid back like that. It's Friday. We're chilling, having a beer. There's a lot of chaos and stuff going on in the markets. That's why I'm kind of like somber and just kind of kicking it with you guys today. I know that a lot is going on. Altcoins are taking a beating. Everything is taking a beating. Like, all stocks took a beating. All alts took a beating. Bitcoin took a beating. The legacy indices are taking a beating. Most stocks are taking a beating. Banks are taking a beating. It's pretty intense. And if this is, if you're a newer trader and this is something newer for you, the anxiety is probably pretty serious. I urge you, keep a level head, don't be fearful. Don't trade based off of your emotions. This is the time where you need to keep your cool and allocate your funds. This is where skills like portfolio diversification and rebalancing really come into play here, so that you can understand this is going to be a learning situation for the vast majority of you, which is like, okay, like banks are collapsing or whatever, like the stock market is tanking and crypto is tanking. Like it seems like everything is tanking at the same time. Now it's a learning opportunity for you guys to figure out, like, okay, where would my money be safe or experience the least amount of drawdown? Where can I rebalance so that I can preserve as much capital as possible? Right? Like right now it's risk off. This is capital preservation mode, diversification mode, rebalancing mode. Like, it's totally risk off. This is definitely a risk off situation. I would be very surprised if we just automatically turn around, like all markets turn around from here and we start bouncing. I think that is unlikely to happen. I'll put it that way. So let's take a look at our 2-year bonds. These really dropped today hard. This is one of the biggest drops that we've seen in a long time. There was a really good post that I read earlier today about the 2-year treasury yields dropping more than 2% in a day. And it's only happened I think 5 other times in history, right before a major market crash. So this was a little frightening today to see that happen. But enough about legacy. We'll dive into Bitcoin here. We're about maybe halfway through the stream, a little bit less than halfway. And we'll talk Bitcoin, right? So similar to, get that off the screen. Similar to what we had over here, okay, on our on our first big drop. I think this was the FTX drop. Was this? No, this was before. This was like one of the other ones, maybe Celsius or UST or something. I don't know. Well, one of the others, right? And then we got this big bear flag. It broke down, got a solid retest here. Also into major supply. It broke down again. And then this was the FTX crash. We're all familiar with this stuff. I'm going to deposit all of my funds into the Bank of Snake. The Bank of Snake. I should do it too. All right, so let's see what we got. Huge run up, right? This white line here, this white dash dotted line, this is at 19,800 basically. This is our 2017 all-time high. I always keep this line on my chart. It's proved pretty important through here as a level of support and or consolidation. So I like to keep that level here just in case. Coming up into this top, we ended up getting massive divergence all through here, right? Massive divergence. We had a channel broke down. Very, very fast and quick retest of major supply in the bottom of the channel here. Very, very tiny. And then it just fell off, and that's where we're kind of at right now. So our our daily candle here closing in general doesn't look good. That's a lot of selling pressure. No wick to the top side at all. That tells me that's basically all selling pressure there, which is not that great. Our OBV has broken down through all major levels of support that it had. It's come down to new lows here, as you guys can see. So these are fresh lows, which is not good. And they're like pretty deep lows. Like they're really deep compared to where it was. Like before, our lowest low is like right about 4. So this one's at 5, which is a pretty significant increase. But again, like right now, I don't know why this is acting as resistance here. Let me actually change the color on that. That's supposed to be green. So we'll go down to the, I guess that's why I had it as red, because we haven't actually cleared the level yet. If we take a look at our volume per bar, obviously through here, the bullish volume has been increasing. That's why these bearish bars have been going down. We were extremely oversold here on the 4-hour chart. That's starting to break into, back into normal territory, but obviously still hugely bearish here. And then if we look at our MACD, this is custom, by the way. If you guys want this, just go up to indicators, search KMAC, and you guys can use this one for free. But anyway, it's modified. But anyway, I mean, for right now, this is the kind of move to the top side where either it's going to rip like really, really hard here. And people are going to be like going from stables into Bitcoin because that's safer. Or just straight up going from like actual USD into Bitcoin because of fears of banking collapses and stuff. So I don't really know what's going to happen. I've never really been in this kind of situation with digital assets before. I'm talking when you start, combining actual real legacy, like banking failures and stuff, and like banks having issues. We've never really seen that before, like with crypto getting thrown into it. The closest we've come to that, I think, is really like the 2020 COVID Black Swan crash. And that's really the only other time that it was like, oh my God, everything is down, everything is crashing. That's really the only time that we've seen like legacy and everything, all markets crashing at the same time. So with what's going on now, I don't really know how this is going to play out. This is a really hard one. I'm personally long. Where am I long from? Let me move this over here. Gonna move this over here. Here we go. Someone is trying to DM me and I don't care. So I am up 15%. Okay, well, that sucks. So my other bid at 19.5 did not trigger. and I got front ran by $35. So that sucks. I'm probably just going to remove that bid real quick so I can take my margin back. Let me take my margin back and just remove my bid. So my average entry on this position is from 20,100. So basically having 19.5, I was planning on having like that right at, 19.9, 19.8 entry point as my average entry for my long here. It's getting rejected really quickly on this lower time frame here. So I'll kind of have to see how this goes. In general, though, the MACD here looks strong. At least we're in normal territory on the RSI on the 1 hour. And the bullish volume has been increasing in general here. So getting some kind of pullback here off of this, is fine for me. I'm not worried about that. Seeing some kind of a retest of this area here at like 20,200, just slightly lower from where we are now would be fine for me. Seeing something like this, maybe just bleed higher. But at the end of the day, really hard to tell with the current market environment and all of the FUD that's going down. This is very difficult to be trading. I recommend for most newer traders to probably just not trade this and be sitting the majority of this out, because no one's going to be able to predict what can happen from here based on what's happening in legacy. Like, we don't know. On Monday, things could completely take a turn for the worse. We don't really know what's going to happen. I think it would be irresponsible of the Fed or the government at this point to be bailing out any banks, because at the end of the day, it's just going to be prolonging the inevitable. They didn't bail, or they bailed out the banks in 2000. They should have let them crash. They didn't. They bailed out the banks in 2008. They should have let them crash, but they didn't. Here we go again, like third time in our lifetime. Are they going to bail out the banks again and create a very highly super inflationary period? Like, I personally feel that if the Fed or the government or whoever bails out, like, let's say we start seeing like a banking collapse here in the US, right? I feel like I feel like if they bailed out the banks again, that the US dollar would probably just end up going into hyperinflation for real. Like we'd see like a Venezuela type situation. Like, you can't continue to bail out banks and just not have inflation. Like, you're literally printing money. And by printing money, I mean like the government would be buying back the bonds, which would be extremely expensive for them to do because the yields are through the roof. It would be super expensive for them to buy them. Just for the sake of prolonging the inevitable, which is all of the banks have been overextended and over leveraged and broke for 20, 30 years. And prolonging the inevitable, which is an actual banking crash in this nation, I don't think is a good idea, especially not at the expense of, all of us citizens here that would be, they would just be driving. It would just cause hyperinflation. I don't think it would be good. Segue to my trading algo. I'm actually going to be talking about that at the end. I actually have a lot of really awesome news in terms of that. I spoke with the CEO of Astrobit today. So I do have tons of awesome news about the algos. And if you stay tuned for the next 15 minutes, right at the end of the stream, I'll be going into information on how to get access to the beta and get whitelisted for that. There's only going to be 20 spots. So that's all I'm going to say now. I'll wait till the end of the stream. I'll get more into that. But I mean, like, tell me what you guys are doing. Like, are you guys hedging? Are you guys sitting in cash? Are you sitting in stables? Are you sitting in Bitcoin and just like ignoring whatever the price action does just because if stable coins start crashing, at least Bitcoin is safe? Like, how are you guys handling all of this? I'd love to hear from you guys and see, what you guys are doing. Let's see. He knew what. Yeah, I don't know about all that. I'm staying poor. Well, that's no fun. Don't stay poor. I'm up 15% on my long. And if you guys want me to go over altcoins, like right now, I am getting absolutely destroyed on my Didex trade. So I think my average entry is like 265, and it's a forever hold for me. Like I don't care, but I'm down bad. I'm down pretty bad. I think I'm down like 25% on that. My average is, so I bought it $2 and then I bought it like 235 and then I bought like at $3 and my average is like 275 or something. And I am down, yeah, we'll just say like here or whatever. Fuck it. I'm down almost 30%. At its lowest, I was down 35%. Ouch. Fuck my life. Being poor, going to work, putting stink bids at 0.001 on DAI in USDC. That's funny. That would actually be really hilarious if some of those actually end up hitting. You'd make a fortune. Long some ETH, Matic, and Bitcoin. Ooh, I wouldn't have longed Matic. I think ETH and Bitcoin maybe for a scalp, but I don't know as if I would have touched Matic. What does Matic look like? I know I got Matic on my alts list. Oh my God, and you guys, actually, let me know if you guys want me to share this. I just redid my altcoin list and like all of my watch lists on here. Oh my God, it was so satisfying. And I finally reorganized all of them. Like if you look at my stocks and futures ones, I've got all the micro indexes, the commodities, the yields, the Forex pairings, and then I've got tech stocks. I've got all the financial sectors, which is absolutely taking a beating. This is you guys know which that is. That's Silvergate. The Silvergate chart just looks like ass, right? Communications, industrial manufacturing, consumers, services, and I like organized all of my lists. I redid my main list, my Forex list. I think most of these are for Oanda. All these are for Oanda. That's where I trade my Forex. And then I redid and cleaned out my altcoin list. If you guys want me to publish these, and make, I think I can make my watch list public. If you guys are interested in that, let me know. I think that there's a way for me to do it. Like if like for me to be able to share them or whatever on TradingView, which would be pretty cool. So if you guys want these watch lists, I'm pretty sure they let me share them. Got in on Matic at 98 cents, pretty decent bounce so far, but half my position. Oh, okay. So you took half profits. Well, see, that's good. See, that's what I like. I love when you guys take profits, because how are you going to make money if you don't take profits, right? I harp on that so much. Like, take profits. When you're up, take profits. When you're up, take profits. Doesn't matter if you're long or short, take profits. Like, always be profiting, right? So that's awesome. Glad to hear that. Let's actually take a look at Matic though. Here we go. Got in at 98. Cut half the position and it's $1. This is a nice V-shaped recovery here. MACD looks strong. Lots of bullish volume here. RSI looks good. What about the OBV though? Zoom in. Hey, you know what? That OBV doesn't look too bad here. Compared to this high, it's kind of low for making a newer high in price. So that would be on the OBV. That's what I'd be watching. Is I'd be wanting OBV to be breaking above here. But besides that, I think you're probably good, man. It's looking pretty strong here. It's looking pretty strong. The fact that you cut half your position already, risk-free trade, stop to break even, I think you're sitting pretty good on that. That's pretty awesome. That's a really good position to be in there. Took some profits. I'll put my hand up for your list. Yeah, Ancient Alien, I got you, man. I think Isn't there a way to publish these? I mean, like not my altcoin one, but like my stocks and futures one. I spend so much time organizing this stuff, dude. Like this literally took me like hours to do, like adding all the tickers that I wanted and everything, all the stuff that I personally watch. This took so long. Half the day yesterday. Share or list. So it's on. The share button is on. I guess, does that mean that you can just, okay, so this is, whoa, that's cool. Look, it tells me how it's all broken down. Consumer, finance, electronic technology, consumer non-durables. That's awesome. Yeah, and it shows the whole list and everything. So I guess stocks and futures. Really? I can tweet this out too. What is this? Currency in USD. Well, of course. What is this? Group currency symbol, price sector, custom sections. Yeah, well, these are all okay. Wow, that's cool, man. TradingView, like I've never actually looked at any of this on TradingView. That's actually really fucking awesome. Tells you pretty much everything that you need to know there. Average volume, market cap, change percent, change amount, what the current price is. That's pretty awesome how it just gives it to you in a list. So let me go ahead and link copy to clipboard. So there's that one. The altcoin one, I don't feel like I need to share that. The Forex ones, these are all specifically Owanda pairings. So, I mean, I'll put that one there too. I mean, like if you really want it. So there's the FX one and there's the legacy one. I mean, my main one is literally, I think pretty much everybody has all this, you know, it's just like quick indices and bonds, crypto, like market caps, CME, total market caps and all that stuff, longs and shorts on Bitfinex. Some quick alts that I'm like currently holding spot on, and USDC just because like it's starting to look like ass here and I want to monitor it. But like that's pretty much it. Lots of concurrent viewers in here too. There's like 12 or 20 people watching. That's awesome. Like, thanks for joining. Welcome everybody that's new. Make sure you smash that like and subscribe. We do this every Friday. We kick back with a beer or whiskey and talk markets, all kinds of markets. Legacy, futures, commodities, crypto, whatever you guys want to talk about. I've been trading it all for 12 years. So I am not shy when it comes to like, oh, I'm only going to talk about crypto. No way. If you only want to talk about crypto, cool. I mean, I'm a crypto trader for the most part, but yeah, with everything that's going on in Legacy, I definitely think that it's worth the conversation right now. So Bitcoin is just kind of doing Bitcoin things, right? Like I mentioned earlier, and I think I posted this chart for you guys on Twitter earlier. It's like, hey, welcome to your 15-minute range. Like, you have arrived, right? Like, here we go. I got in somewhere over here. My bid got front ran at 19,500 by like literally, what is this? What was the low here? 19,550. So my ladder to double down on my long got front ran by $50. That sucks. But you know, we're all the way up here, which is fine. I'm only in a half size position though, which kind of blows. But yeah, I mean, if this keeps rocketing or whatever, I mean, I'll keep it as long as it keeps showing strength. But in general, this is our 15-minute range here. If you guys don't know how to draw ranges or identify them, you know, like based on order blocks and stuff, I've got tons of tutorials on this channel. So again, just another reason to like and subscribe. But anyway, in my position, or not in my position, if you guys are not in positions, and you're thinking about getting into a position, like for instance, if you're not long and you're thinking about longing here, just longing on anything right now, I think is really risky. It looks like we're already going to be forming divergence here on our 15-minute. That's not good. The OBV looks good. That's wonderful. And our OBV looks really good on this 1 hour, right? Like this looks really good, right? We broke these highs. That's good. We broke these highs here. That's good. Price is consistent with our OBV. That's really good. So it is showing some signs of life and some strength here as, you know, the FUD prevails and, you know, we keep getting, you know, more and more FUD and oh my God, are the stable coins depegging and holy shit, maybe we should just sit in Bitcoin. I think that's probably the majority of what's contributing to this. But we'll take a look at our heat maps real quick. And then I want to talk about the beta that I'm going to be offering for my Venom algo, which is still 75% profitable, even in these market conditions, by the way. Again, I'm going to be releasing all of that stuff probably this weekend or Monday. My website is going live on Monday. And we'll take a look at these heat maps and then I'll get into how you can register and get your name on the list so that you can have a free beta. Oh, I forgot to mention that it's free. Like you don't have to pay for anything. You don't have to. I did an exclusive deal. I'm really close friends, like in real life, with the owner of Astrobit. His name is Nick. Me and him worked out something, and I'm going to be offering 20 beta spots to people completely free. All you have to do is make an account on Astrobit, and be one of the 20 people that follows a certain amount of steps, right? Like you don't have to pay money, but like, yeah, you know, like and subscribe to the YouTube and to the Venom algo Twitter and all of those things. And to get your name on the list, you don't have to pay for the bot. You don't have to pay for the algo, and you're going to get it for free for a certain amount of time. The registration process will be open to 20 people throughout next week. So starting Monday, I'm going to make the announcement sometime Monday afternoon, and it will be open until it either fills up or until Friday. And Friday, I'm going to cut it off at end of business day next week. Basically like when I stream, right? So again, I'll have a little more information in just a second, but let's take a look at these liquidity charts and then we will get into that. So, and if you're interested, in these charts and getting them for yourself, so you don't have to rely on me and, you know, like Crypto ISO and, what is his name? Marco MRG, whatever his name is. I don't know. There's a couple of people that also use these charts, but if you guys feel like supporting the channel, you guys can use the ref link in the description below. I know, shameless plug, whatever. I'm not paid by them. I just use this every day. So if you guys are interested, tons of links and free stuff in the description below. You guys get free stuff and you also help support the channel. We appreciate it. Well, actually, yeah, I mean, I put it right back into the channel and for my family and stuff. So let's take a look. So right now, this is one of the new features that they added is that you can aggregate BitMEX, Bybit, and Binance all together if you want to, or you can do one at a time. I like having all three of them to aggregate all of the liquidity and get a big picture overview of exactly where the liquidity lays, right? So we're going to take a look at that real quick. This is on a 12-hour look back period. Obviously, the liquidity pools are going to change as you increase that look back period. So if I select 7 days, which is one step up, and refresh this, it's going to look like this. And you can see that there's practically not very much above us until you start getting up to 23K-ish, which is where a large 6 billion amount of shorts would be puking or be forcing to close around close to that area. So 22K, that's probably when you'd start seeing a cascade up. And then below us, not too much below us, you know, on this weekly time frame until you get down to like 18K, that's going to make longs puke. Chances are they would close if these lows got broken and propel us lower. So that's kind of like how I use these to kind of judge what's going on. But anyway, we're going to take a look mainly at this 12-hour one real quick. We're going to zoom in here and take a look at what we got. So it looks like right above us, it looks like we could pop maybe to like be retesting that 21K area. The late shorters that are already in from here would be puking there. But most people on crypto Twitter, from what I've seen, that's where they're trying to short, is like 21K. So 21K would probably be my take profit for my long. And that's where I would start trying to build a short position, because there's not really too much going on here until you push up to 22K. With all of the other fundamental factors going on in the market, I don't think we're just going to be rocketing to 22K magically like that. And then to the downside, obviously, pretty thick liquidations to our downside as more and more longs clamor into this more recent price action that we've had over the last hour or two, with the price action moving up. Max pain here for longs looks like it's around 19,775. So we'll have to see what happens with that. But if we move on over to just taking a look at Binance, and this is like a smaller time frame, like, you know, those individualized levels, right? Tons and tons and tons and tons of shorts above us. So I always mention that, you know, once it's offsides to the point where longs or shorts have like between 20 and 30 million, normally that's when you start seeing like a change in momentum. Sure enough, earlier today, we were at 27.28 billion. 27.28 billion. And sure enough, just now, within the last hour, couple hours, whatever, the price action started coming up, and we started taking out some of these shorts, right? All this blue stuff is shorts, right? So if we zoom in here and we take a look, I'm just going to take a look at this part. Okay. Looks like we've got a lot of 25x and some 150x ones. But I mean, this is a really thick wall here. Like, this is why the price jumped really rapidly, really quickly. You've got a lot of longs here that are currently underwater that entered right here at the top. That's those green dots on the prices. So there are some longs scattered below us. But in my opinion, in our immediate price action, it's not the kind of thing that I think is going to trigger some kind of a cascade to the downside as of yet. Over the weekend, it's typically lower volume anyway. But in my opinion, I think most people are going to be trying to buy the dips on this, FOMOing in. And that's probably going to drive this price higher. But there's not really any telling where this is going to stop. Maybe if we change the granularity on this, maybe go one more tick. Okay. Yeah. So that gives us a better idea of like where the supports and resistances are going to be. So in here, if we look at this, basically 21K, right at 21K. So that's that next real big area here, is going to be that 21K area. So that's probably where I'm going to be closing out the majority of my longs. And if I decide to keep the long open, I'm probably definitely going to be hedging short there as well. So it's looking like, depending on how this next hourly candle goes here, over here, it's looking like, depending on how this next, like not this one, but like our next hourly candle, like there's only 3 minutes left on this candle. And then we'll start a new hourly candle. If this pushes up further, I would be expecting 21K. That's where I'll be closing half, moving my stop to at least break even or in the profit, and then probably hedging short, with a equal size position. You know what I mean? To just kind of hedge. So moving on from that, I'm gonna come back to my full screen here. So just as a heads up, for those of you guys that are followers, maybe you're newer to the channel, maybe you're not, maybe you've been here for a while, whatever. If you're newer, appreciate the love and support. Make sure that you smash that like and subscribe button. I stream every Friday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern. Just a little information on how to get basically whitelisted for my free beta for the Venom algo. I'm going to be releasing all of the preliminary results. I actually already have in the Astrobit Discord, but one of the things that you have to do that is required for you guys to even be considered for free access to this is you have to have an account with Astrobit. That doesn't mean you have to be paying for a bot or an algo or whatever, but you have to at least be registered with their site. It's literally just an email and a password, I'm pretty sure. But get registered, get signed up on astrobit.io. Okay. There should be a link down in the description right below this video. Like you guys can literally pop this open in a new tab right now while I'm talking and do it. Go ahead, get signed up for that. That's absolutely 100% required. On Monday, I'm going to be releasing other details of what you need to be doing. The reason why it's required to be registered on Astrobit's website is because when you do that and you register, it's going to give you a link to their Discord. Now, I'm going to know if you're actually signed up on Astrobit or if you joined the Discord because you searched through my tweets and found the Discord link. If you scroll through my timeline and you just find the Discord link and you got lucky and you joined the Discord and you didn't register an account with Astrobit, you're not going to be considered, it doesn't count, right? So yeah, do all those things, right? Go to astrobit.io, sign up, open an account. You don't have to buy nothing. You don't have to pay nothing. You don't have to sign up for a bot or buy an algo. You don't have to do any of that. And then on Monday, I'm going to put a tweet out and there's going to be a couple things that you need to do. So one of them is going to be to follow the Venom Algo Twitter, which again, link is right below this in the description. You guys can do that now. I'm going to know who's following. In that post, I'm going to say to retweet the post. That's going to be the other thing. You got to be following my main account. You got to be following the Venom Algo. You have to have an account on astrobit.io and be in the Astrobit Discord. Those are going to be the three big things. I don't think that I'm going to do anything else. I mean, it would be cool if you guys hit the subscribe button. That'd be kind of cool. I don't know if that's going to be a requirement or not, but you never know. Do all those things. That's going to be in a big site can't be reached. Do I need a VPN off? I mean, yeah, you don't need a VPN to be using astrobit.io. I wouldn't use a VPN for that. But anyway, do those things, right? Follow me on my Twitter, follow the Venom Algo Twitter, sign up for an account on astrobit.io. Those are going to be the big three things. Obviously, retweeting that tweet that I put out on Monday. I'm just giving you guys a heads up because the people that are here now are either super interested in that or you guys are followers that already know that it's going into beta that are trying to do this now anyway. So yeah, those are the things. I'm going to make the official announcement on Monday. And then, that'll be that. I'll go ahead and, get all of you guys, emails together and everything. It'll go beta later that day on Monday. The tweet that I put out is going to have, the up to the date, on Monday, up to that date, of the test results. You guys will be available to do a completely free beta test of the Venom Algo. And that's pretty much that. The Astrobit community is super cool, by the way. Really nice guys in there, really professionally run. I know most of you use Discord. So, if you guys are familiar with that platform, really, really good group of people. I've been working with them for 2 years. So really excited to be releasing it. And, I hope that you guys are going to be able to be a part of it. Again, there's only going to be 20 spots. Those are going to go quickly. There's tons of concierge members and whales and stuff that are in Astrobit that have been in Astrobit for a long time that I know for a fact are going to claim a spot immediately. That's why I'm giving you guys the heads up now is get an account with Astrobit now so you can get in the Discord now so that you can get one of those spots and claim them faster. There's going to be a new channel in Astrobit starting Monday. Nick, the CEO, is going to make a Cobra Venom beta, public channel in the Astrobit server specifically for you guys to be, the people that were selected that actually did all these things to be dropping their information that are interested. Those spots are first come, first serve. There's only 20. And they're probably going to fly off the shelves literally probably the same day or maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. I really don't think I'm going to have spots open by Friday. But they're first come, first serve. Like, if not all the spots fill, cool, whatever. I'll give some away, or, maybe I'll tell some of you guys, like, hey, if you guys know somebody that wants a free beta, like, let them know, tell them to do these things. Share them the tweet with the instructions. If they do those things, they can get one or whatever. But there's only going to be 20 spots. They are first come, first serve. That's why I'm giving, my dedicated followers that actually come to the streams and stuff a heads up. So, do you guys have any questions on that before I go ahead and end the stream? Because otherwise, I think we're good here, and I'm going to go ahead and put my daughter to sleep, have a couple drinks with my wife, and call it a night. And it doesn't have to be questions related to Astrobit or the algo. It could be like market questions or whatever. Like, it doesn't, just anything. And I appreciate all you guys being here with me. I know that the markets have been like really, especially crazy today. I've been weathering the storm with my my live resin. Oh man, the focus is terrible. Or I turned the autofocus off. Live resin cart there. Got that live sauce. Live sauce. I think some people are rolling out, either to go sign up or whatever they're doing. But yeah, I'm not getting any questions in or any of that. So yeah, if you guys have the chance, again, make sure to smash that like and subscribe button. It really helps me out. And until Monday, with all of these announcements, and the website is going to be going live. My website, the Astrobit website's already live, but my website's going live. That tweet is going to go live. The beta goes live. And I'm going to do a short, you guys know how I do my short little Bitcoin analysis videos on the YouTube. I'm going to make another one of those on Monday as well. So definitely a lot is going to be going on. I'm going to be super busy next week, but again, I always try and make time for you guys. You guys can find me on Discord, smack a friend request or whatever. If you guys have questions, or you can just tag me on Twitter or something, just ask. If it's Venom Algo related, try to do it to the Venom Algo Twitter, because I have people managing that Twitter for me now because I just don't have time. But I think that's about it. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream there, guys. I really appreciate you hanging out with me. Again, just try to manage your risk. Make sure that, you're risking off right now, and, you're practicing risk management, or, rebalancing of your portfolios and stuff. And just try and weather the storm. We don't really know how bad it's going to get, but hopefully we'll have a better picture, next week when markets open. I think Monday might be a little bloody, but I think things will probably start calming down, like, mid next week, and we'll get a better idea of how far this contagion is actually going to spread. So with that, I wish you all the best. Have a wonderful weekend, and until next time, happy trading.